Hi and welcome legends. Today I'm going to give you a little bit of a higher time frame update on the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Also share a little bit of education around liquidity. I've been getting a lot of requests. How does liquidity work? Today I will share a little bit about my knowledge on the liquidity heat map that is freely available for you to also use. And remember, two of my favorite exchanges that I use to trade on a daily basis is Bybit and Mexi, where you get an insane 20% fee reduction when you sign up with Bybit using my affiliate link. Also Mexi, links down in the description. First two links, go sign up right now, come trade with me. Right, looking at the price of Bitcoin over here with the pivot low that we've made here on 23 of Jan and 14th of March where we made the pivot high, I've just taken a little bit of a flip and I just want to see what the larger time frame perspective looks like for now. Okay, so you can see during this momentum here to the upside, we had a push up, we had a long consolidation, we had a push up, we had a long consolidation, and then an aggressive push here to the upside. And this is currently quite a lengthy consolidation over here. The one thing that I am looking at is to say that when I take a flip time and I measure from the pivot low to the pivot high, you can see that we are approaching the 0.618 level, which tells me and it gives me a clue that this corrective structure that is taking place over here is potentially correcting this entire impulse here to the upside. Okay, which means that minimum target for a corrective structure is usually here by the 0.382. 0.618 even better, and here by the 1-to-1 ratio is usually when the momentum will then either continue to the upside or we will start continuing making impulses to the downside. Right, but for now there's lots of bullish sentiment in the market and it just feels like any dip here to the downside will be bought up aggressively. Right, let me just take the scribble here out the way. So from a larger time frame perspective, taking the time into account as well, and perhaps we can still range for a little bit longer where we are building a bigger bull flag, everyone's seeing us breaking out here, fake out to the downside, and then will the momentum continue here to the upside, or are we building a bigger bull flag over here, right, just connecting these lows where we can still range for a lot longer inside of this triangle before we have the official breakout to the up or to the downside. Right, and preferably I would like to see the breakout happen or the true move starting to happen here by the 1-to-1 ratio. The other thing that I'm watching, just taking the time flip here out the way, is to say that there is definitely still a possibility, like I've discussed during my live stream yesterday, where we can get that momentum here to the upside, and this is perhaps a breakout, a retest for continuation to the upside, where we go and have a nice fake out to the top. We grab all of that beautiful liquidity there by $74,000, and then fake out, deviation, a correction down to the downside. I would be watching the 0.382 level, and also further down, I think this 50% flip level could potentially be a nice bouncing area where inside of this consolidation area over here, we also have a naked point of control when you draw a value fixed range profile. Just taking the scribble out the way here quickly. Also, what I'm looking at from a time perspective inside of this triangle, it does look like even if we stay between the lines and we don't have any fake outs or to the downside or to the upside, and we just keep on ranging it inside here, it feels too short, because usually even from a simple pattern perspective, you start breaking out when you are 75% into the pattern. That is usually where the true breakout happens. And kind of where we are right now, it just looks like we are still less than halfway, and perhaps halfway already, and there is still a little bit of time left before we can see that true breakout either to the upside or to the downside. So perhaps we are still going to range inside here for a little longer before we see the true breakout, like what happened during this consolidation where we didn't see any breakdown to the downside. Everyone expecting when we were consolidating over here, there's going to be that liquidity grab for momentum to the upside, and we just stayed inside of that channel and got a breakout to the upside. And exactly what happened over here as well. A beautiful bull flag over here, everyone expecting that liquidity grab and then a momentum to the upside, and we just broke out. Beautiful pattern playing out. So both of these consolidation areas played out to perfection. Right, will this time be different? Then just quickly onto the price of Ethereum, and what I'm looking at here on the 12th hour for Ethereum, you can see that we have tapped and rejected exactly as I've mentioned in many of my previous live streams, the 1.618 level. Look at where we got the rejection. When you measure this wave from the bottom to the top to the bottom, exactly at the 1.618 is where we got the rejection. for bullish momentum to continue for Ethereum, I would really like us to keep and hold the support area over here by the 1-to-1 ratio. I've got a little green box over here, and it's fine if you wick down, you get acceptance back above, and then I'm just tracking this momentum here to the upside. So perhaps Ethereum is also building up that spring for the next breakout to the upside to come and smash the 1.618 level and even take us to $5,241. From a bearish perspective, what I'm looking at, and just take the brushes here out the way, is if we lose the support down here and we range in here and we lose the support and we come back and we retest this area as resistance, the next level that we need to hold is the top of this channel. Okay, when I zoom out a little bit, you guys can see that we consolidated inside of this channel for quite some time before we had to break out to the upside. And what I would like to see for bullish momentum to continue is that if we cannot hold the support where we are right now, this is perhaps that breakout, the retest on top of the channel, not getting acceptance back inside the channel, for then the bounce to the upside. If we had to get acceptance back inside the channel, then the next stop is the 50% channel line, or you lose that, you retest it as support, and the next stop could be all the way down here at the bottom of the channel where we could get that bounce and another attempt to break out. So quite important, 2 levels to hold for Ethereum to stay bullish here to the upside. Another momentum that I'm tracking here on the larger time frame is connecting, just keeping it simple, connecting these 2 pivots here at the moment. And perhaps we will range inside here and get a breakout to the upside to come and claim this high, and potentially if we successfully claim this high with high volume to the upside, you retest it as support, we could see ourselves here by $5,241. Right, then just quickly jumping here onto Liquidity, you guys will see Liquidity over here. You will see the website that I'm using for my Liquidity heat map. It's free to use. There's no subscription or signing up with credit cards. That's why I like to use it. Is coinglass.com. The link is up here. And how this basically works is that just a quick little education tutorial is that you have a pair button over here and you have a symbol button over here. The symbol button will bring up BTC or whichever altcoin you would like to see the liquidity for, and it combines all of the liquidity for all of the exchanges. When you select pair, it will bring up Binance, Bybit, Bitget, BingX, and you can go and select the exchange for which you want to see the liquidity for. Okay, and then you have a time frame over here, and these time frames works a little bit different than the trading view time frames. Okay, what this shows you on 24 hours, it shows you the price actions in 24 hours. So from the start over here to the end over here is 24 hours price action. When I start zooming into the 3 days, now I can see 3 days worth of price action, right? And then you can see where liquidity is building up. And usually how people use the liquidity heat map is, if you're a low time frame trader like the 15-minute, the 5-minute, or even the 1-hour time frame trader, you will generally use the 12-hour, 24-hour, and maybe the 3-day time frame over here to go and see where is possible liquidity that needs to be grabbed, or where the price will gravitate towards for a potential. You grab the liquidity and then you fall down. Okay, so generally how the liquidity inside here works is you have a bar here to the left, and it will show you on average how much liquidity depending on the color is inside of these ranges. Okay, the other thing that you can also do is you can just leave your mouse there and hover it there, and you can see every time I move my mouse, the price action changes and the liquidity level changes. So it means that at $71,990, there's 139 million worth of liquidity that can be grabbed. People being stopped out where stop losses are placed. So basically, if price moves there, people will get liquidated and their stop losses will be triggered. For those that use less leverage, obviously that is where they're placing their stop losses, or people using high leverage, these are the levels that they will liquidate potentially their positions. Okay, and here you can see every time I move it, right? So one level down, 71,848, you can see there's 158 million. There is another 145 million. So it is not to say that this number represents all of this liquidity. It is the yellow in each line that represents the liquidity. So you could literally take a calculator and start adding each line, and then you can quickly see how much liquidity is actually lying in this area. So just in this yellow section over here, 156, 158, and another 145, so 450 million worth of liquidity just in this yellow section over here, which is not just the 158. Right, another thing that I've noticed over here is when you zoom up a little bit, it says Model 1 and Model 2. Model 1 looks something like this, so when you do come to the website, this is the default that it shows you. It's just a different view to display liquidity for you guys, okay? I prefer the Model 2 that just groups it a little bit closer together, and it just looks a lot cleaner for me as well. Right, I hope you enjoyed this educational update for today and the higher time frame analysis. Please have a fantastic Friday and weekend ahead, and for the easiest trading strategy and also my trading edge, go check out this video right now, and until the next one, cheers for now.